lead the question or should I? So, Honorable Minister, thank you so much. After a long conversation with the NCC, what would you explain to the lack of showing of the players in today's, warm-up?
No, well, good evening. No, well, players issues, I think that's mostly handled by the Football Federation. But our part as an NCC and as a ministry is to deal with the issues, and that is with the federation, and they deal with the players. So the communication we got is that the players said they were expecting a qualification bonus that was not paid to them. So it's not really about what some people say about match bonuses or so. As far as I know, they are not all match bonuses. And the camping allowance that they went to, the camping that they were in Saudi, they were giving the money that they're supposed to be given, which is 5,000 euros per player. That has been given. What they said, they're claiming, is what we were taught. The players themselves said they were not interested in it at the beginning, which is the qualification. So they didn't come here because they said they have to be paid 38 million and some hundreds. I don't know the exact figure, but 38 point something million dollars is for qualifying to AFCON, and that was the contention.
Well, would someone say it's unfair to the side of the public after they came here just to see the players, maybe for a final sending off, and in the end it doesn't happen?
Well, yes, of course. As stakeholders, our responsibility has been fulfilled, and we did coordinate this with their technical bench and the coach. As you see, the coach was here himself, and his technical side were here. The players are the ones that didn't come. So, like I said, we don't talk to players directly. There is a linkage, and yes, there was a signal earlier today where they said, "Oh, if you don't get the money, we are not coming." And then they kind of stood to that ground to not come to the stadium. But there was an ongoing negotiation, and we thought that negotiation could have been able to yield results for them to come and do what is expected, which is to say farewell to the players through a training that we all agreed. But unfortunately, they decided not to come. And of course, we respected their decision that they don't want to come. Yes, it is unfair to everybody, to the NCC, to the fans, to everybody that tried to come and see them for the last time, and then they didn't show up. But like I said, in football, some of these things do happen. For those of us who follow football, especially football in Africa, it's not a desirable situation, but it's a situation that it's a crisis that we handle, and that's why after that I had to summon for an emergency NCC meeting to get the full update from the Football Federation, and they have given us a full update, and we have consulted even to the highest level of the president, and we have taken a decision, and so that's why we are out of the meeting.
What's the decision that you have taken?
Well, the decision that we have taken, it's these are money issues. $38 million is not a little money, and it's not one that personally I can say we can do. Like I said, it's not a commitment that government made. But we have consulted the president all the way in Mauritania, and he has given the directives that we should give the players that to ensure that we stick to the game plan, which is to go to Ivory Coast and do our best. So government is going to look for those monies of 38 million and pay to the players tomorrow.
Was it mandatory that they should be paid the 38 million for qualifying to the AFCON?
No, those are not mandatory things. Mandatory issues is camping allowances, match bonuses. That's what we know. The rest, qualification bonuses are like more of incentives that are given to a player, to the team, for qualifying. And it's not necessarily something that is linked to the matches. It's like I said. So, but sometimes, yes, when you find yourself in a situation like this, and you call it anyhow, it's blackmail or kind of your hands are twisted to do what the players want. Sometimes you give it in the interest of the country and in the interest of what we believe in, which is the football. But it's an unfortunate situation.
For them to say you have to pay them that amount of money, was there any point in time where you mentioned that you will give them a certain amount of money if they qualify?
No, they're like we don't deal with players. That's why I say there's a certain aspect that is a football federation matter. As a ministry, and in this instance, speaking here as an NCC chair, we don't talk with the players, and we've not had that conversation before. You know, and the captain himself, Omar Koli, spoke with the president at one time after the qualification when the president called him, and then from the information we got, he himself told the president that, you know, they got the diplomatic passport, they don't want money. You know, and unfortunately, they have the diplomatic passport, but now they want the money.
Are you disappointed?
Well, of course, disappointed. I'm very disappointed. But that's not what we expect, especially if you talk to the highest authority in this country, which is the president. If you say something, you stick to it. And if you're a leader, in the end, you take responsibility for the things that you say. You don't go back in your words and then put everybody else under pressure in the situation that we are today.
Final question, does this strangle the ministry or the government itself? I mean, knowing the fact that, you know, they are still looking out to get funds elsewhere, and here comes another fund which was not even part of the deal.
Of course, yes. I mean, we all know this economic situation of this country, and that's what we always tell people. We don't compare ourselves with other people, and I don't even think that is really an issue. In terms what we're paying currently in terms of our regime, in terms of paying a 5,000 euros for a camping allowance and paying 7,000 euros for winning a match per player, or 6,000. These are things that are unprecedented. And I think that recognition should have been there coming from them. That yes, we want certain demands, but we also recognize that the efforts are being made by the government together with the federation to be a little bit reasonable based on the economic situation of the country. But it wasn't part of the budget, like I said, because we had a budget that came from the Football Federation, submitted to the NCC, and then we sat over it, and government said we are committing. Today we announced that government is giving $171 million as our contribution to the total budget, and already 150 million has been given. That 38 million was never part of it. And even with that amount, it was still in the deficit. It was less than what we anticipated if we get to the final, because the total budget is from day one to the final. You know, so it's a management issue, but like I said, there are certain decisions, certain situations that you find yourself. You don't look at the what is good and what is bad. What is necessary is to take actions that are in the interest of the public. And in this instance, Gambia's interest is for the team to go to Ivory Coast tomorrow, and that is the discussion that we have had, and that is the briefing that we are giving our head of state, and he gave instruction to us and the Minister of Finance to say we try to make additional funds and make it available to pay so that they can be able to go. Will they leave by 12:20 tomorrow? We hope so. I mean, we are ready to pay them in the morning, and I think they should be ready to leave as well. If that is the only thing that is keeping them, they would get it asked for the instruction. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Mr.
Badjie?
Yeah, thank you. Good evening.
Go ahead.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Badjie. Of course. How would you explain the circumstances that occur here as part of the Football Federation leadership?
Yeah, not much different from the other minister's explanation. It's an issue of the qualifying or qualification bonus to AFCON. These are, as the minister said, often not mandatory per se, but these are also generally or normally announced or negotiated, or even prices not announced. When we started the qualifying rounds for this particular AFCON, there were negotiations with the players in terms of the new allowances and bonus structure, because it's always the case, because for them the position or the perception was that at least we are no more where we are. We've never been to AFCON, we're going to AFCON now, and we also have graduated to certain level, therefore our incentives also to move. And then when we started the discussion, in fact it has been a long and protracted discussion with them, with their proposal that came from them. And then at one point I even had to deliberately push the minister into it. I hope, really, I expected that maybe at this level there will be some sort of consideration. And that didn't happen, and at one point I also blamed myself for exposing him to direct negotiation with the players. And then, and then I took over and then following series of discussions and meetings, not agreeing on what they are proposing. This includes the campaign allowance and the match bonuses for the qualifiers that we just went through. But the last was the qualification bonus. So this is a whole sort of a document that we negotiated and is on it. And then at the end of the day, when we got stuck in the negotiation, there somewhere there to cancel. When we got stuck in the negotiation, and then there was some threat in the background of even not continuing the qualifiers. I had to go. I remember there was one point, for the middle of the night, I had to leave the office, house to go to the office to write a letter to commit to at least to avoid anything, to give them commitment that we are committed to it and we are going to agree on it. I had to do that because it's not that all the time you have to pass the buck. We also have to do our best to not to really be all the time involved in the government. And then within that demands is a qualification bonus of 15,000 euros per player when we qualify to AFCON 2023. And that's the least they could have, because the request was far higher. It was about 25,000 negotiation. At one point, we were even asking them to agree on a percentage increment from the previous one. But that didn't work, they stuck with it. And then we are also responsible, considering every other things. And then we transmitted that to the government, to the Sports Council. And then even though we did not receive an official reply to that, but we have to move on. We took responsibility. We assume that really we have to. That's why we could stop. And then negotiate even the campaign allowance and the bonuses for the last qualifiers. You know, as I said, these are things that we, at the level of federation, when we got stuck in the negotiation, this is what we even started applying it even before when they saw the budget, they asked us, but this is something that we discussed with them, and that's where we got stuck. So we started applying it even without the ministry formally approving it or otherwise. And then what we are having that at the back of our mind, we know it's going to be a big burden or a heavy burden for us, but we have relief when we qualified in Morocco the last match against Congo, when His Excellency the President called to congratulate the players, and through a telephone conversation where I was present, the coach was there, and then his second vice president was there. The captain, when he requested, before that he even informed us, and our president, we will talk to the president, we will want to have a diplomatic passport. So that at least if we have that, then that will really ease our traveling, and also some sort of prestige, because not only travel, but having it was an honor. And then this we're not going to disturb with monetary compensation for qualification. This I said that's going to be good news to us, because we have been thinking about it. And then when he spoke to the president openly, he told the president, "You are the assembly, you are not the president. Okay, consider it done." And that's what really transcended. That's why when we are making the budget, naturally, we didn't expect it to be there. But later on, things started coming up, and then I started, the captain reached out to me about this, and I said, "But this is what he said," and then he has his own excuses. It's a team, maybe for me at the time, but when we went back, the boys are complaining that I didn't sit there. I said, "Okay, I understand. But this really, I don't think you can go by what this you told the president." I even told him before I went to the president, explained, reported this in cabinet, the government, everybody's aware. I don't think you can go back to the president. But continue. And in preparation to this, I sense that it's still going on, what's happening. But we have a response. When we discussed, okay, we cannot determine the amount and the time and when it will be. But at least we will look at it as we progress into the tournament. Maybe we may be able to make some savings. Then we can see what we can, we can give them as a token. That was related to them, and they went ahead. A few days ago, during the campaign, we received message from the official who represent us there that there was a meeting, and the demand came up again. And then, we were all consulted, and we could say, okay, let's get. When they came. The threat was there. The threat was there since in Saudi Arabia. They don't go to train and they are not going. And then we also started consultations. When they came, the matter came up. This afternoon, also after the discussion with the vice president, we also had a brief meeting with some of the officials. And then what we agreed on was, because we were running on a huge deficit, we are leaving tomorrow, all the funds are not around, and then Mr. said he could not really determine an amount that will be given to them. But we allowed to consult with the finance committee of the NCC to be able to see what we can be able to part with, at least to satisfy them, to avoid disrupting the training and other things. And they had their consultation, they came back and forth, and then we would expect, we are hoping that everything's fine. We could announce the training schedules. The technical team already had left with the coach, and then I was there. Maybe by instinct, I thought, just let's wait, and then we can follow the team. And then all of a sudden I was called into a meeting, and then the ultimatum was there. We are not going to train, and we are going to Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire, if this amount is not paid. I said, now, we are discussing. As you know, we had a meeting at the State House, and as we speak now, the minister is consulting to see what, at least, not everything is not possible, but what could be available and put a place on the table for way of negotiation. Then this one was there in my face that really they decided they were going to train, and then they dispersed. And I couldn't leave after responsibility. The minister was already here. I said, yes, let's stay put, let us not go. I'm trying to reopen the negotiation, try it again. And we had a second meeting with them. I had to bring the issue of the fans back at the stadium, wanting to see you, even going there waving at them. Because even a suggestion of the coach, who was already spoken. So what? Okay, we are asked to allow them to have a meeting 5 minutes. Myself and PS had to wait more than 30 minutes before knowing that they had already dispersed without giving us a feedback. We had to struggle to catch one of them to know what the conclusion of the meeting was. That no bonus, no match. And I said about how much the minister had already proposed a figure. Out of the 30-something, maybe we can see what we can bungle with 13 million to give it to them. But the feedback latest was that they are not settling for anything less than the whole amount. And then it was very unfortunate. That's the situation.
Finally, one last question. This has happened, and of course we have seen in Cameroon similar situation like issues of bonus arises. What is the solution?
The solution is just, unfortunately, we could not meet all the demands at all the time. We are constrained, we cannot have them. If the funds were there, nobody, that Cameroon bonus and all other things, the GFF still struggling to pay the bank. We assume it at the time because what the funds we had was, I had to make a commitment. At the Federation, we had to go and negotiate, and bank loans, we are still servicing those loans. It's not sustainable. I think we'll go back to the drawing board, this will pass, and we'll look at it again, how we can look at a more realistic way of dealing with it. But you all know we are all into sport. Most of if not all of you are into sports. Journalism, you know how these things happen. It's very unfortunate, and when situations like this happen, we try to negotiate and get the best what we can do, at least case by case, because it's difficult to focus and have something in place for the future, because this evolves day to case by case basis. But as it is now, whilst we are cracking our heads and have some principle of really, some this it's not acceptable here and there, but every day the number one citizen of the country, peaceful heat and other things, soft heart, and couldn't allow this to generate into others. Because Gambia's absent from the tournament tomorrow, leaving for the tournament tomorrow, it's complete absence from may cost us a lot. I don't think really. Whatever the situation, we also have a pride, maybe based on that the President has given directives and that the Finance Ministry may work on, despite the circumstances, to ensure that this is solved. So we are happy and we are very grateful to that unanimous decision made of the President. We all have that interest, and the Minister of this will have the money. The President will not have it involved. But what you have a budget of 388 million. You already have 170 something, and we still didn't raise 200 million out of it. We are thinking about the budget is premised on our participation up to the finance. That's because we cannot go. Last time it happened to us, The budget was, we are on the budget, we didn't anticipate going beyond the round of 16, and we went up to the first round. We went to the quarterfinals. So to avoid that, we budgeted until we lift the trophy. And each of these, some of you are in our AGM, clearly deliberately catalog and announce all the bonuses that every step will go with. These are not small money. If you put that together, I think that will go to up to 60-70% of the whole budget. So about 65% of the whole budget. But anyway, it's unfortunate. As a country, we have a pride, and as much as we are shocked, we will see it coming this way. But as a country, we thank the president that at least for now, the matter has been resolved.
As the president decided to boycott the training, and as the president, how will those signify going into a tournament of this nature? You could see how disappointed the entire country is, more especially the youth, the young people who were here since around 2 p.m. Just to see this scorpion for the first time in many years.
It's a difficult one. It's very difficult. In fact, that's my last engagement with them was what I used. That we have to look at the human face of it. Every right or every Jew has an attendant responsibility. I told them, it's brothers and sisters, your family members, your friends, your loved ones who are parked at the stadium waiting to see my general secretary convey my witness. And then we will not want those people, park and go like that. And this emanates from the coach himself when he spoke, and I want to relate that message. That's very shocking. But already this one was taken, and then 75% of them had already left camp, and they went to see their families and other things. So and it was already late. And what they told us, they're going to have a meeting, and they come back to us. Unfortunately, they didn't come. We had to go back, follow them, chase them to be able to know the outcome of the meeting. Anyway, it's the price of leadership and responsibility. We assume full responsibility of it. And then we forge ahead, and then we try to see how we can do it better next time.
Thank you very much.